Older now, they move more slowly, but for the victims of Pol Pot's most notorious torture chamber, painful memories remain as fresh as ever. Bu Meng witnessed the murder of his wife and 2 children. This tour of Tool Sleng prison was arranged to help Cambodians prepare for the moment they finally face the nightmare that was the Khmer Rouge. After so many false dawns, this impoverished nation is about to bring to justice a handful of surviving top commanders who ordered Asia's Holocaust.
We are finally here to assist. A process will start soon. Truth, hopefully, will be established through the process. There are certain measure of justice will be done. It will not be a perfect justice.
The hopes of millions of Cambodians rest with the 2 people charged with making sure the Khmer Rouge trials run smoothly. Michelle Lee represents the United Nations and Sian Visot, the government of Cambodia.
I think this trial will be open to the public, not only inside Cambodia, but to the public and to the media worldwide. So I think it's not so easy to distort the facts.
From the ashes of Year Zero has risen the war crimes building that will be the venue for Asia's Nuremberg. For survivors whose graphic testimony may see them becoming witnesses for the prosecution, a first look inside. The seats may still be covered, but the crowd is raring to go. Bu Meng demanded to know if his dead wife and children would get justice. "I'm ready to be a witness," said Som Pov, whose husband was butchered. "I remember it like it was yesterday." Chum May demanded to know why the Khmer Rouge was allowed a seat in the UN. Meeting all of the expectations boiling away in this room will be no easy task. Cambodians have no faith in their country's corrupt legal system. The UN thinks it will overcome that concern by ensuring cases are heard by a 5-member panel consisting of 3 Cambodian and 2 international judges. Verdicts must be unanimous or a supermajority of Cambodian and at least 1 international judge.
We are well aware about the weaknesses of our legal and judiciary system. You see, that's why we seek international participation to meet international standards, and in this case is the assistance from the United Nations.
The perpetrators of this horror will receive more justice than they gave their victims. The maximum penalty will be life in prison, and the standard of proof will be high. The names of those expected to face trial remain unclear. Pol Pot escaped punishment when he died mysteriously in the jungle in 1998. The surviving henchmen must be getting nervous. They include Nun Chia, deputy regime leader, or brother number 2, head of state Khieu Samphan, Foreign Minister Eng Sary, this once militant atheist who oversaw the extermination of Buddhists, recently made a telling compromise with his beliefs. He built a funeral stupa for himself and his family at his local temple.
That says Eng Sary. Eng Sary. Yeah.
Already entombed are the ashes of his sister, who was Pol Pot's first wife. A generation ago, these men had killed anybody who spoke a foreign language. Now they've retained foreign lawyers.
Very ironic, they don't trust their own people to defend themselves. It shows that they're in a panic stage. And finally, they don't trust anybody.
Yuk Chang has been gathering evidence against the Khmer Rouge leadership for years at the Documentation Centre of Cambodia. This huge paper trail plus eyewitness testimony from survivors will form the prosecution case.
They are going to be a big help to the tribunal. You know, they are out there that ready to speak to the prosecutors, to share the stories, and to, you know, to lead the investigation team to, you know, to a mass grave site and so forth.
As they prepare to give evidence, groups of survivors have been touring the scene of Khmer Rouge atrocities. This mass gravesite on the outskirts of Phnom Penh held the remains of 17,000 men, women and children butchered in cold blood. It was not just a tour for victims. Perpetrators of violence also came along. Kim Hoi was a prison guard forced to make a horrific show of loyalty to the regime. For years, Cambodia's government dragged its heels on setting up a war crimes tribunal, fearing it would reopen old wounds in a fragile society. But the victims of Pol Pot refused to remain silent. And now it seems their demand for justice will finally be heard.